Hey everyone, the web novel guy is back, and today I've got 10 awesome apocalypse-themed web novels that are absolutely worth reading. If you end up liking any of my recommendations, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. 1. Extreme Cold Apocalypse. I use the treasure bowl to hoard billions of supplies. In this apocalyptic web novel, an extreme cold wave descends upon the world, triggering the mutation of species across the globe. Lin Shi, RMC, is reborn 3 months before the disaster strikes. This time, he awakens the power of his ancestral treasure basin, a mysterious artifact that allows him to store and even duplicate items. But this second chance isn't just about survival. In his past life, Lin Shi was betrayed by a close friend. Now, with a colder heart and a sharper mind, he's determined to rewrite his fate. As the apocalypse unfolds, humanity discovers a way to unlock their gene locks, evolving into superpowered beings. Meanwhile, animals mutate into terrifying source beasts, and only the strongest will survive. If you enjoy cold, calculating protagonists and thrilling, evolution-based world-building, this one's definitely worth checking out. 2. Apocalypse Gachapon. After dying in a brutal future, the MC is sent back in time, 10 years before the apocalypse began. In this world, mysterious Gachapon-style roulette wheels suddenly appear from thin air. To spin them, survivors must collect crystals from zombies, gambling for powerful rewards. Armed with the memories of his past life, the MC now has a second chance to grow stronger, faster, and smarter than anyone else. Expect thrilling moments as he faces off against early villains, reunites with a cheating ex-girlfriend, and makes calculated moves in a world where every spin could mean life or death. If you enjoy time rewind survival stories with revenge, strategic growth, and a touch of emotional drama, this one is a must-read. 3. Zombie Siege: The Road to Survival Begins at School. This web novel follows a main character who suddenly goes back in time, right before the zombie outbreak begins and during his final exams. He's just an ordinary person with no special powers, but now he has one big advantage: his memories of the future. With the knowledge of what's to come, he starts preparing to survive the apocalypse. Watching how someone without any abilities uses pure wit and experience to stay alive makes this story really engaging and unique. 4. Apocalypse. Everyone levels up. I return to the time before the server opened. In his past life, as the countdown in his mind reached 0, people discovered they could enter and exit a virtual game at will. Inside, they could fight monsters and level up. Like most, Ye-Chu didn't pay much attention to it and became a casual player, only logging in occasionally. But 10 days later, the game suddenly shut down. And then it merged with the real world. Monsters began to rampage, demons started to roam freely. Along with them came levels, equipment, skills, and pets. And Ye-Chu, at the moment the server closed, was only level 5. From then on, he could only struggle to survive, hiding and fleeing, even enduring humiliation and abuse. Until his final breath, he remained unknown, weak, and pitiful. In this life, Ye-Chu has returned to 20 years ago, and the game is just launching. 5. Survival. Zombies suddenly appeared all over the world, quickly spreading through densely populated cities. It only took 2 years for every government around the world to collapse, leaving behind chaos and anarchy on a global scale. Without the law and order that once kept them safe, people turned fearful of both the zombie threat and of each other. Even in the face of the countless waves of undead, groups formed and fought over the limited resources that remained. This culminated in a battle between two of the strongest remaining groups, the last beacons of humanity. What resulted was a devastating loss of life on both sides. Johan's group was completely annihilated, and their surviving enemies were swarmed by zombies. Though he managed to suffer through this apocalyptic world for 3 years, his time was up. Unexpectedly, death had come not from an enemy, but from a friend. He had been bitten by his oldest and most trusted companion, who had been infected during the battle and turned into a zombie. Accepting his fate, Johan closes his eyes, only to discover that he has returned to the past, 6 months prior to the zombie outbreak. With his memories of the last 3 years, only he knows of the approaching apocalypse. Given a second chance, he plans to do everything to survive.
6. I became the Necromancer in the post-apocalyptic zombie world. In this story, the MC is staying in a survival shelter that includes both military personnel and civilians. As expected in a post-apocalyptic zombie world, the military holds all the power, and they make sure everyone knows it. The civilians follow their orders, and the MC, despite being one of them, is treated even worse. He's forced to do all kinds of exhausting work, often taking on tasks dumped on him by others. Why? Because he once stood up to a military captain to save a girl. That one act of kindness put a target on his back. Eventually, the MC and a few civilians begin plotting to take control of the shelter to escape the military's oppressive rule. But just when things seem to be moving forward, betrayal hits hard. The very girl the MC had feelings for turns on him. She was secretly in a relationship with the top commander all along. To crush the rebellion quietly, the commander proposes a vote. One of the traitors will be sent outside to gather supplies, a task that's basically a death sentence. As expected, everyone votes to sacrifice the MC. But once outside, on the brink of death, he awakens a Necromancer system, and everything changes. This web novel contains mature content, including adult scenes and a bit of Notori, where the MC ends up stealing other people's girlfriends, so keep that in mind before diving in. It's intense, dark, and full of revenge-fueled drama.
7. Apocalypse. I built the infinite train. When natural disasters ran rampant, with extreme cold and storms spreading endlessly, when the world mutated, zombies surged like tides, and eerie horrors emerged. When the apocalypse descended, massive, devouring abysses hundreds of kilometers in diameter began appearing around the globe. When people looked up at the atmospheric cloud layers and saw the slowly emerging corpse of a colossal evil god. From that day, people began to notice that daylight was arriving later and later, until the sun no longer rose, plunging the world into an unending polar night. For survival, on that day, the Apocalypse radio made its final broadcast to the world. Everyone flee eastward, escape to dawn. Lin Shen awakened the mechanical heart ability. He could devour machinery to gain various mysterious skills, scan machines to obtain blueprints for manufacturing, and even use his thoughts to achieve unified control of different machines. Thus, he found a 200-ton heavy gas-powered locomotive, towing specially modified storage, planting, production, medical, and living carriages, and embarked on a 320,000-kilometer journey along the planetary orbital rail, charging eastward towards the dawn.
8. I became a game character in the Apocalypse. A zombie game with extreme difficulty, last arc. Finally, after countless attempts, Park Jae-hyung triumphantly cleared the game on his own. Relieved and exhilarated, he went to bed, only to wake up to a shocking revelation: restarting the game. The zombies from the game had appeared in reality. The abilities of the last played character have been transferred. A main quest has been generated. Faced with a world overrun by zombies, Park Jae-hyung must use every ounce of wit, skill, and his newfound character abilities to survive. His desperate struggle to endure and overcome the apocalypse begins now.
9.
Exposed online. The school bell chose me, so why are you jealous? The apocalypse game arrives. From zombies to natural disasters, 99% of humanity perishes. Lin Shun learns about the apocalypse in advance through the system and immediately occupies the world's only SSS-level building complex. He upgrades it into Noah's Ark, a sanctuary in the apocalypse. Before the apocalypse, Lin Shun was cyberbullied by countless people, seen as a freak and despised by his girlfriend. After the apocalypse, everyone is locked outside Noah's Ark. Within a 10-kilometer radius, every building has already been claimed by Lin Shun. Famous twin celebrity sisters? Campus Belle? Lin Shun says, "If you're hungry, then come in."
10. Doomsday game, starting from a level 1 shelter. David unexpectedly transmigrated into the world of the post-apocalyptic survival game, Doomsday is Coming. Right from the start, he was dealt the tragic trio, the most run-down shelter, the lowest command level, and the most dangerous wilderness environment. Facing what seemed like a dead-end situation, he activated the Doomsday synthesis system, and from that moment on, his fortunes took a drastic turn. While other lords were still struggling to slay monsters, David wielded his synthesized blue-tier refined weapon, taking down elite monsters with a single strike. While others scrambled to survive the chaotic Doomsday calamities, David, armed with his foreknowledge of the game's storyline, transformed his drafty little shelter into a luxury mansion. While other lords fought sleeplessly to resist evil invaders, David wrapped himself in his blanket, only to wake up the next morning to find piles of evil corpses stacked outside his shelter. While others fought tooth and nail over a single blue-tier item, David had already upgraded to purple epic and orange legendary gear. His stash was overflowing with blue-tier equipment, items so rare that others wouldn't even dream of seeing them. Night demon invasions, the coming of the frozen winter, heavenly thunder and earthly flames, furious ocean waves. Night demons, white walkers, fire elementals, abyssal sea beasts. In David's hands, these once devastating doomsday catastrophes were no longer apocalyptic threats, but golden opportunities to amass wealth and power. Doomsday, to me, it's just a game. And that's it for today's list. I hope you found some great web novels to add to your reading list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.